That claps.
What's good, T Squad? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B, Season 1, Episode 1 review. I drop videos Monday through Sunday. Everything that I say is for entertainment purposes only and not to be taken seriously, meaning my jokes. So if that works for you, then let's get into this review. We kicked the series premiere off with Kandi, Tiny, and Tamika kicking it together. They meet up to talk. And Tamika says that she has not talked to her sister, LaTocha, aka Tasha, since their Vegas show. Now, mind you, when they were in Vegas for that show, I was in Vegas the same time celebrating Sheridan's birthday. So this was back in May. That was that week that I was on vacation for a week. I went out of town for Sheridan's birthday. I did a vlog, and then I came back home for a day and then went right back out of town again for my brother's birthday. And we didn't even know that there was a Lovers and Friends or whatever concert it was called happening in Vegas that same time that we were there. And we were so mad that we missed the concert because we would have went. Well, lo and behold, Tasha and Tamika end up getting into it at that concert event. Apparently, Tamika and Kandi got locked out of their trailer, and Tasha and Tiny were able to get into theirs. Well, instead of trying to help her sister and Kandi out, Tasha just chucked up the deuce and was like, peace out, I'm gone. Y'all handle y'all scandal. So I'm guessing this was after the performance, and then when they went back to their trailer to go change, I'm assuming that's when they learned they'd been locked out of their trailer. So Tamika and Tasha end up arguing via text. And Tiny was like, you know, she feels like you body shamed her because you said if you had a butt to kiss. And Tamika was like, girl, bye. That's a figure of speech. I wasn't meaning that literally. And that's not nothing to even take that seriously if somebody said that to you. Like, okay, you got a flat butt. Ooh wee. Like, that ain't nothing even that huge, like, to be mad at your sister about. So Kandi was like, you know, we could probably go on tour again with SWV after our Verzuz. You know, if we can get all this situated. She was like, but you know, I don't want to say too much because y'all will get back cool and then be mad at me again. And Tamika was like, uh-oh, time to go. But that's the God's honest truth, because now we're learning that Tamika used to just go along to get along with her sister, even though back in the day, she probably felt like Tasha was in the wrong. But in order to have a relationship with her sister and not to, you know, trouble the waters over there, she, you know, would rather have troubled the waters with Kandi and the other, you know, with Kandi and Tiny or whatever, just to get along with her sister, even though it might have been in the detriment of her career and everything else, which is really honestly dumb to me because I love your sister, but I'm not going to mess up my life just because you want to be silly. No, not I. We then see SWV in rehearsals. Afterwards, they sit down and talk to their manager, who tells them that, you know, it's a possibility for them to work with Xscape and go on tour, since they're about to be in the business now for 30 years. And the following year, Xscape will have been in the business for 30 years. So it's a perfect time for them to join together and do a tour with one another. The girls are all for it. You know, they're excited about the idea. And, you know, they've had their issues in the past, but, you know, they dealt with it via therapy and everything. And they're in a much better space as a group. We then see Tasha at home with her husband, Rocky, and her son, Jamon or something like that. And we learn that Rocky used to work for R. Kelly, which says a lot. And that Kandi introduced them back in the day. She had a boyfriend when she met him, and he ended up taking her from her man child. And she tells him about this opportunity to go on tour with SWV. And in her confessional, Tasha was like, you know, how can I perform with my sister when we're not even speaking? Well, you're not speaking over something that is very trivial. Okay. So like you're making a mountain out of a molehill, love. But what I'm starting to see now via this show and everything that's played out in the media, that Tasha to me is just one of those people that is comfortable in misery. She lives in a state of negativity. She's an unhappy person. And she's just a big old ball of negativity. She really honestly is. And she puts the blame on everybody else, but it's really, truly her. I don't know what happened to her in her lifetime. I don't know what's the issue. Like, girl, you've lost the weight. You're a beautiful woman. What is the problem? You're getting money, but it's always an issue with her. And I'm starting to see she's just one of those people who likes to be mad. And at some point, it will get to the point for me where you gotta go. Because the three of them can keep it going without you. Like, you're a great singer. Nobody will ever take that away from Tasha. Phenomenal singer. But ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Like, she really acts like she is the Diana to their Supremes. Like, girl, all of y'all equal makeup Xscape. Okay? All of y'all. It really honestly does not work when a missing link is not there. But if push comes to shove for a peace of mind, I wouldn't have no problem getting rid of her. We then go to Tamika's house and we meet her husband, Darnell, who she says does security for New Edition and other groups. That's how she met him. You know, they've been together for quite some time. They have 3 daughters. I don't know if it's together or just period. I don't think it's together. Yeah, because she was pregnant when they first came out. So yeah, she has 3 daughters. And, you know, they're in a really good space right about now, but she's concerned about what's going on between her and Tasha. Taj ends up getting all the girls together for lunch. She's hosting this event so they can all sit down and talk about possibly going on tour with each other. So Tiny arrives first, then Candy, and then in walks Tasha. And she walk in, just the whole energy in the room change. She walk in like she don't know nobody, like this a brand new group of girls she ain't never met before. She walk in, hi, and everybody was like, hey girl, whatever. Candy just looking at her like, okay girl, all right, whatever. And Candy even says in her confessional, Tasha and I are oil and water. We just don't connect. We don't really speak outside of the group. And I feel like that's because of Tasha. Tasha is the oldest out of all of them, and she acts like the youngest. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know. Like, she is just horrendous. Like, oh my God. So then her sister Tamika arrives, and she asked Taj where to sit. She was like, you can sit right next to your lovely sister. Now, I don't know if at this point she even knows that there's animosity between the sisters, but Tamika goes and sit next to her sister and was like, well, don't you look cute? And Tasha was like, thank you. Like, girl, you couldn't say thanks, sis. Like, you look beautiful too. Remember when I was telling y'all about how I interviewed Ashley Silva and how I asked her, I was like, hey, how are you doing today? And she was like, fine. That's exactly how it was between me and her. It was just like, dang, you can't, say how are you doing back or whatever the case may be. And I'm looking at Tasha like, girl, that's your sister. Like, chill out. Like, ooh. And it's like her ways make her unattractive, because it's like, girl, stop. So, Lily and Coco arrive. Everybody's there now at this point. So Taj is, talking about the tour and asking, what would they like to see on the tour? And Tamika was like, it should be a full-fledged production. Like, you don't know who's coming on stage next. Like, it could be a mashup of like Candy and Coco on stage. And then here comes another person. And I agree. I love that idea. Like, have it be a mashup where certain girls are singing with other girls. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be so cute and dope. And I would most definitely go to see them live on tour. So while they're all talking, Taj Taj notices that it's something wrong with Tasha. So she was like, what's wrong? Tasha like, oh no, I'm good. I just have reservations. And Taj was like, reservations about what? She was like, I'm not excited. We have a lot of internal issues that we have to deal with. First of all, this isn't the time nor the place for this conversation, okay? And you know how your mom always tell you don't go telling my business to nobody, and you keep our business inside the house. That's how I feel about this situation. Like, why would you embarrass your group in front of, another group, letting them know that y'all got issues and it's turmoil? Like, that's embarrassing. And like, you're just keeping up mess for no reason. She said that if you had a butt, girl, it ain't that serious. If you that concerned and that overwhelmed and emotional about having a flat butt, then go get something in it. Jesus Christ. It ain't that deep. Even Candy, her confessional was like, why? Like, because your sister called you out? She said you left her, which you did. Like, so how are you upset when you played your sister? Like, you could care less about her well-being. Like, come on, love, make it make sense. So Taj is like, sisters, I understand y'all have issues, but y'all are still together. Whatever y'all going through, it can't be that bad that y'all can't work it out. And here go Tasha, negative self. It's not even about that. It's about having peace and communication, and we haven't been able to do that. And y'all haven't been able to do that probably because of you and your steak attitude. So Tiny says, we're going to deal with it. We're going to talk through it. And then our next step is going on tour with the girls. And Tasha was like, I might not feel like going on tour. Well, then don't go. Don't go then. Don't go. Don't cash a check. Don't get the bag since you that upset about a silly comment that you're that mad you can't get over it. She is her own worst enemy, and she is the reason why they broke up in 1999. And that is the reason why you was over there scrimping and scraving good times, all of those years. And back in 2017, when y'all got back together, now you get into the bag, and here you are getting the big head once again and messing up everything. Like, grow up. So Taj was like, Tasha, do you even want to resolve it? And she was like, I do. And Lily jumps in and she was like, I think there's a level in life where we just need to grow the F up. And I'm like, amen. Speak the truth and shame the devil. So Tiny was like, I think it's just too personal. And Lily like, take the personal out of all of it. With girls, it's always some BS. We have hiccups with our boyfriends and our husband, but we give them another chance. And I was like, Lily, you was always one of my favorites, honey. You better get these girls together, because with women, often we'll let a dude run over us, lie to us, treat us bad, cheat on us, and give him chance after chance after chance after chance. Let one of your homegirls mess up, you cut her off immediately. Like, come on now. Like, in this case, this your sister, bro. Like, come on. So you gonna mess up everybody bag because you mad and because you miserable. After that, we see SWV, honey, get on a plane to Johannesburg, South Africa to perform for some rich man birthday for 6.5 figures, honey. And I was like, this is what I'm talking about. And like they said, we have our issues still to this day, but we know how to set that to the side to do our jobs. And that's what these ladies need to learn. You know what I'm saying? Especially Tasha. Candy at the crib making pieces with Todd and the kids. And she says to Todd, I think when we were younger, Tamika did whatever she could to please Tasha. She was kind of like a yes man. And we find that out this season watching this show, that she did used to oblige her sister to the detriment of herself. And at this old age of hers, she's not doing that anymore. Like, she's not willing to mess up her finances and her career for her sister. I wouldn't be willing to do it neither. And at the end of the episode, we see Tamika and Tasha go over to their mama house to have a talk, because the mama want to get them to sit down and hash out their issues. Now, Tamika brings her oldest daughter, Ocean, with her. And Tamika in her confessional says, Tasha is my mom's favorite child. It's been like that since we were kids, and I don't know why. And I was like, ooh, Lord, trigger alert, trigger alert, trigger alert. Because growing up, my brother was the golden child. He was my mom's favorite. She showered him, honey. He was spoiled rotten. He got away with everything. She was so harder on me, so much harder on me. And I always grew up feeling like I was the stepchild and like he was the favorite. So when she said that, honey, I immediately connected with that. So Tamika gets there and she walks in and she hugs her mom and everything. And Tasha was like, hello, Tamika, give me a hug. And she was like, give you a hug? She was like, yeah, I'm your sister. Oh, and so Tamika was like, oh, we hugging now? And she was like, what you mean? We always hug. And the producers quickly reminded us, the viewers, and Tasha, when she watched tonight's episode, about how nasty she was when they all got together for the group meeting with SWV, and how when her sister greeted her, she barely had 2 words for her. There was no hug. There was no anything. So I quickly realized right then and there, okay, so you one of them type of people where you nasty when you ain't around your people. But then when you get around your mama and your family, you try to act like you're this goody two shoes and like you're not the issue. And you try to make Tamika look like she's the bad seed, the troubled child, the person that always got the issue. Because I'm like, girl, you sitting up here lying. And I'm looking like, okay, so you try to make it look like Tamika always got an issue with everything that you do, when really in all actuality, she calls you out on your mess. Okay, now I see what's going on here. So they sit down and start to talk, and Mama G kicks stuff off, talking about, so make me understand why you want to send a blast out to everybody. Tamika was like, if I'm paying you to do a job and you leave before the job is done, then you need to be reprimanded. So I'm like, huh? I'm confused now at this point, because it first sounded like, you know, they got locked out of their trailer. They couldn't get in and Tasha left after the performance was done. But the way she's talking, it seems like she didn't finish doing the show. So I'm like, well, that's a whole nother part of the conversation then. So Tamika gets up to demonstrate to her mom what happens. And while her back is turned, her mama mouths to Tasha, she's jealous. And my mouth dropped. I said, what she just say? And I'm like, oh, so you the problem too. That's the reason why Tasha act the way that she does, because you do show favoritism and you talk about your daughter to her. Why would you sit up there in your big grown, overgrown age, sitting up here talking about your daughter, jealous of her? And then here go Tasha messy butt sitting up there just a grinning, loving every second of it. And I'm like, oh, so both of y'all the problem. And y'all sit there and try to gaslight Tamika like she the crazy one. Mama, you can go to HE double hockey sticks for that one. Cause it's like you act just as childish as your daughter do. So the mama gonna say you need an Academy Award. And it's like you sitting up here belittling her for telling you how she felt and what happened in the moment. If you're not going to believe anything that she's saying, then what was the point of you asking her to come over to have a conversation? Because it looks like exactly what Tamika said. Y'all gang up on her. So Tamika was like, no, I'm sorry. Tasha then started clapping. And I'm like, girl, you Beetle Bailey looking girl. Ooh, Jesus. So Tamika was like, I would have made sure she was good. Tasha told me, I wouldn't body shame her. And then the mama was like, none of that matters, girls. None of that matters. And Tasha was like, we family at the end of the day. Tamika was like, we family now? A month later? And Tasha was like, we always family, boo. I can't do nothing about that. And Mama G was like, I'm going to do something about it in a minute. Tamika was like, you don't never hear when she say something bad. Mama G was like, what did she say that was so bad? Girl, you heard what she said because you just repeated it when you just said, I'm going to do something about it in a minute. Ugh. So Tamika was like, she said we're family and she can't help that. Mama G Thompson, and that offended you? But you sitting up here taking up for Tasha about being mad because she said if you had a butt? Make it make sense, Jerry Curl, because you don't make no sense yourself. So Tamika just sitting there like, like, thank you for proving my point. And she says it's always 2 against 1. Mama G Thompson, that ain't true. I stand up for you. Tamika was like, not against Tasha. And Tasha was like, what you want her to come against me for? Tamika was like, when you do things wrong, mama, get quiet. Tasha was like, what I do wrong? And Tamika was like, when you stole my money, mama didn't say nothing. When you and Rocky stole my money, mama didn't say nothing. Mama got quiet just like she got quiet right now. And I was like, woo, she done shook the table now. So Tamika then goes on to tell us in her confessional how several years ago, Tiny Mama told her about a new royalty that they were all getting. And she told Tiny Mama that she hadn't received no royalty check. So apparently Tiny Mama did some digging and found out that her checks were being sent to Tasha's house and that they'd been cashed in her sister's husband's account. And the checks added up to over $30,000. Baby, let me tell you, me and Tasha would have had to meet up in the playground and shoot the fair ones, because $30,000, ma'am. And you know, we've already been saying that we felt like Rocky is a problem too. He seems like he's controlling. He seems like he is manipulative. I don't know if she afraid of him. I don't know what's going on over there, but it ain't right. And if she did do that to her sister, y'all some low down, dirty, trifling folks. Low down and dirty. To do that to your own sister, to do it to anybody is just beyond trifling. Trifling. But your sister, bro, you gonna take money out of your sister's mouth to be able to take care of her and her family and her children and her household, to put it into y'all's? Y'all some scheming, scamming folks, child. Scheming and a scamming. But God don't like ugly, and it will come back on you in ways you have never, ever, ever imagined. So the mother sitting up here acting like, oh Lord, I can't take this. Tasha Thompson, come on, mama. Calm down, mama. Calm down. Child, get out of here. So Tamika was like, you didn't say nothing. You think that's fair? So Tasha was like, ain't nobody steal your money. Tamika was like, y'all didn't steal my money? My best friend was about to lock you up and I told her don't do it. I gave her all the evidence. So then in the confessional, the producer asked Tasha, did Rocky ever steal money from Tamika? Tasha says, no. How could he steal money from Tamika? That's my question. And the producer was like, so Tamika is lying? And she was like, yeah. Okay, my thing is, it ain't Rocky stole her money. It's you stole her money, because if the checks was coming to the house, I'm pretty sure you forged her signature on the back. And you know how you get a check and then you sign somebody else's name on the back because you're forwarding the check to them? That's what I'm thinking they did, where she pretended like she was her sister and put her name on the back of the check so they were able to cash it. That's the only way I'm thinking that they was able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Unless Rocky was managing her as well at the same time. Because just like with myself, I have an agent. When I close certain deals, the check will go directly to my agent. My agent then deposits the check into her account. And then my percentage is then, Zelled to me and put into my account. So that's the other way that it could have been done, where if Rocky was managing Tamika and Tasha, then he was receiving their royalty checks and depositing it in his account, and he just wasn't letting Tamika know about the checks and wasn't giving her her money. That's the other way it was probably done, and that's the way that I'm thinking 9 times out of 10 that whole thing happened, because Rocky is Tamika's manager. Tasha's manager. So I'm thinking maybe he might have been Tamika's manager too at the time. But child, me being somebody that's in the literary industry and has been paid via royalty checks my whole career, baby, you look forward to them checks. That money go a long way. And then to find out somebody been stealing from you, that is a whole nother beast, child. And I've been there, done that, gone through it, having publishers steal money from me, not paying me what's owed. So I understood her anger and the hurt that was coming out of that lady's mouth. So Tasha said, he's saying, ain't nobody stole nothing from you. Ain't nobody stole nothing from you. But just her whole mannerisms just read guilty, honey. Like, it wasn't even like she was trying to put up a fight. I felt like she was low-key shocked, like, and was in shock mode that she even went there with her, because her whole response was just weird. So Tamika was like, I got evidence. You want to go to jail now? Because you can still go to jail. Baby, Tamika was not playing with them. So Mama G telling me some, Tamika, you wrong. You wrong. Y'all cut the cameras off and get out my house. She need counseling. And Tamika was like, Mama, you know y'all not right. And the episode goes off. And I'm like, it's mighty funny that you're doing exactly what your daughter has been accusing you of. Instead of having your daughter's back, all of a sudden now it's get out my house. Y'all stop filming. Like, you didn't validate her feelings or anything. Like, you just immediately cut the conversation because you knew that there was some truth in what was being told. You knew. And LaTocha Scott, y'all know she had a whole countdown going of a single that she just dropped leading up to the premiere of the show. She's using the show to promote her solo career, the same solo career that she didn't want to tour with the other ladies over the last however many months. So she dropped the video 3 days ago, child. It's on YouTube right now. And that video got 52,000 views in 3 days. I don't know what solo career she thinks she about to have, child. But once again, ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. You're a great singer, but your attitude blows. It sucks. And it makes viewers and fans not like you and not want to support anything that you got going on. So you didn't found fame and fortune once again off the backs of Xscape and decided to once again give them your butt to kiss so you can have this solo career that once again is going to go nowhere. And I hope this time they don't let you come back. I really hope they do, because they still been doing shows without you and the shows are still popping, and y'all, you not being there ain't slowing nobody's bag. And it's not a problem if you want to go out and have a solo career. Nobody's saying that she should not, but it's the way she go about doing stuff that is just nasty. And I just could never see myself supporting her. Never. Especially hearing that you allegedly stole from your sisters. You was the reason why y'all broke up in the past. Just your whole negative personality and attitude and decorum and the way you carry yourself. It's just ill. Like, I would never want to be in a 50-mile radius of that lady, because she just reeks of miserableness. Like, it's just so I hope it was worth it. I hope going solo again was worth it. I really honestly do. I hope them little 52,000 views on that video made you happy, because once again, ain't nobody checking for you, love, like that. Y'all are better together than apart. And just like SWV understood the assignment, you need to understand the assignment, that y'all are better together than apart. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this series premiere of SWV and Xscape, the Queens of R&B. Overall, I'm going to give the first episode an A. The ladies brought it. Can't wait to see the dynamics of this show and how everything is going to play out this season. Whew. Y'all make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.